As you can see from the title below, this will be a doppelgangers video. If you like this type of content, this topic, definitely stay tuned for the rest of the video. If you have your own experience, send it to the email spookytyt@gmail.com. Make sure you like this video, leave your experience in the comments or anything else, and make sure you are subscribed. Okay, let's get into it. So, can doppelgangers compel people not to want to talk or interact with them? I'm asking because growing up, there would be a handful of occasions where people saw me somewhere that I couldn't have possibly have been. They said that they got the urge not to want to interact with me until they ran into me again, well, the actual me. They asked me why I didn't speak to them, why didn't I acknowledge them, why was I even there, was I upset at them? Those type of questions. I looked so uninviting and empty. Thinking back, it had been the times in my life where I wasn't happy, very depressed, and I wasn't even in those places to begin with. It couldn't have been me. A lot was going on in my life. I didn't like going to school. My parents were getting divorced and they moved me all across the city. Was this a true doppelganger experience? Did my depression spark another part of me that I didn't know about? That's a good question. Does it work like that? I used to sleep on an air mattress in my living room. I shared an apartment at this time. This happened to me in 2017 or 18, I can't remember. My roommate told me she woke up to pee at 2:30 in the morning. She had just gotten back into her bed and not yet fully fallen asleep. When she said she watched me walk into her closet that was in her room. She said she watched the door close and the closet creak back and forth a couple times. Then she said she got up to confront me and figure out what the hell I was doing just in her closet. She said my face turned evil, my eyes got red, and my smile got big and distorted. She said I put one finger over my mouth and grinned really big and whispered, "Shh."
Oh no, time to go.
Then went behind the closet door. Right after this occurred, she went in the living room and realized I was still asleep on my mattress the whole time. Y'all haunted. Y'all need a cleansing, and I hope y'all got it, because this was 2017. I hope you got it. As a child, my dad was abusive growing up, and I'd see all versions of him roaming through the house. I run into the kitchen and see him smoking a cigarette. I try to talk to him, but his face would twist into different versions of him. Sometimes I find some sort of happiness in the house. I find a happy version of him, I mean. He wasn't really speaking to me, but happy otherwise. Any other time he would appear everywhere, his face was mocking me, and it came to me in my nightmares. I'd always run back to my room, where he would be just passed out on the bed, high or drunk. Seeing that would always confuse me, as I had just seen him in the kitchen, or I had just seen him in the bathroom, walking here or walking there. Looking back, I'm pretty sure that I would see multiple versions of his doppelgangers roaming around. It was horrifying to think of. I just blocked it out mentally at one point. I don't even know what to say to that. Some of my friends claim to see a doppelganger of me sometimes. Just me going somewhere or sitting in a place I'm not currently sitting in, or at a place I'm not currently at. This has happened on multiple occasions. The first time it happened was about 7 years ago. My best friend walked into a room and she started talking to me as if I was sitting there. She sat down next to a chair by my computer and started talking to me as if I was actually there, not realizing that I was across from her on my bed. I looked at her and I said, "Who are you talking to?" She looked at me, then back at the computer chair, then back at me. She disregarded it as if it didn't even happen. The second time was just last month. I was watching a YouTube video around 4 o'clock in the morning. My roommate walked in startled, asking me what was I doing. She continued to explain how she woke up with me hunched over her. She said she even felt her bed compress from where I sat down, and she thought it was me. Every other time in between has just been my friends saying they saw me somewhere walking or in a room that I'm not in. Aside from that one experience with my roommate, it had always been pretty casual. I hope I don't have a clone walking around pretending to be me and messing with people that I know and love. So my mom says she saw my dad at a time he wasn't actually home. He didn't have a creepy face or anything, but he might have been shorter than he actually is in real life. Also, a few months ago, my cousins told me that they saw my aunt and uncle somewhere that they weren't in the house. They don't live with us and they don't come to visit often. Can somebody please tell me what this is? I'm scaring the shit out of myself trying to figure it out. That's a doppelganger. What else could it be? This happened to me when I was around 8 years old. I saw my dad in the bathroom wiping himself off after a shower. But the problem is, he was supposed to be at work at his office. So I asked him, "Dad, when did you come home?" He didn't say anything to me. I asked again. He closed the bathroom door in my face. I proceeded to go back to my room and didn't think much of it. 20 minutes later, my mom gave me and my little brother lunch. I then asked her, "Mom, why aren't you waiting for Dad to eat?" She laughed and said, "Why would we? He's gonna come home later for dinner." I told her, "But Dad is home." Then I explained to her that I had just seen him in the restroom about 20 minutes ago. He was in the shower, drying off. We searched the entire house, but we could not find him. Creepy, right? But after eating, me and my little brother fell asleep for a nap. My mom stayed awake watching TV. Sometime later, I awoke to my mom screaming. I rushed out of my room to her scream. I found her in front of the bathroom door. She hugged me and couldn't talk. I looked at the bathroom and it was empty. I asked my mom what happened. She proceeded to say that she saw my dad in there, but how did he appear out of nowhere? She then asked my dad, when did he come home, and said that he just looked at her creepily, and that's what made her scream. When I came running, the thing disappeared. Later on that night, my dad came home and she told him everything. I don't remember what happened after that, but soon after, we moved out of that house. That was weird, but what's even weirder is that you saw your dad drying off. Are you not scarred for the rest of your life? I would be scarred for the rest of my life. Listen, I've walked in on parental figures. Oh God, I'm scarred. I can't even talk about it. I remember one Saturday morning, my brother and I were watching Saturday morning cartoons when someone then knocked on the door. We lived in an apartment that was half empty because the owner hadn't rented out the second floor. It was a small apartment, but it had a big window that faces out the door. So when we heard someone knock, I went to go check the window and I thought I saw my father. When I was going to unlock the door, my mother pulls me away and screams at me not to open the door because I didn't know who it was. I told her it was Dad. Why are you freaking out? She goes to the window to check. She's checking through the peephole, and then she got terrified. She looked at me and she told me to go to the furthest part of the room. She ran frantically to another room. I heard her yelling and talking. My dad then got up. He was angry and confused. She had me tell my dad what I had seen. I didn't even know my dad was at home at the time. The man was still knocking at the door. My dad screamed, "Who is it?" No one answered. He said, "I'm gonna call the cops." But no one responded. While my dad was busy screaming at him, I went back to the window just to see the man still standing at the front door. He looked just like my father. So my mom took all of us to the furthest part of the room while my dad got ready to open the door with a metal bat. Once he did, the man was gone. My dad goes out looking everywhere, all around the apartment building for him. Our apartment building was rather big and echoed, and we always heard when people came in and out. But that morning we heard nothing. No footsteps, no nothing. And the fact that we saw a man that looked exactly like my father is what really creeps me out to this day. Every time I remember this experience, I can't help but to wonder, was that my father's doppelganger? These are getting real. I can't. I'm scared. Late at night, I usually go to the bathroom multiple times a night, but for the past 4 nights, every time I get up to leave, I can see myself standing in the mirror from the corner of my eye. It's like the other me is watching me leave the bathroom. It terrifies me to the point where I almost run out the bathroom without looking directly into the mirror. I never told my husband about it because I didn't want to acknowledge it out loud. Earlier today, I took a nap. I was in our bed. My husband sat in the chair next to the bed watching TV. When I woke up, he told me he saw me sit up, crawl backwards to the edge of the bed, and stand up. But it was all from the corner of his eye, and he thought it was weird, almost like he was seeing things. I was in the last month of my pregnancy, and I couldn't really move without it hurting. Without looking at me, he said he tried talking to me. When I didn't answer, he then looked in the direction he saw me standing, by the doorway. Nothing was there. He looked over to the bed and said I was still sleeping. I got real creeped out, and when I finally told him about what I've been seeing in the bathroom, he thought it was all too creepy, and he didn't want to talk about it anymore. Matter of fact, he said he wouldn't talk about it anymore because he thought that whatever it was would give it power and energy by talking about it and acknowledging it. I'm pretty sure I've been seeing my doppelganger. I have no idea what it wants or why we're both seeing it. What do doppelgangers want? That's like the $1 million question. What do they want? Okay, I have a doppelganger story time of my own. If you're an OG, then you know something is amiss in my apartment. And I don't know if it's like supernatural or I don't know. Okay, just listen. Okay, so one day I have these wall mirrors, right? And this one wasn't on the wall. I don't know. I was like, this was at a point where I was like, I don't want too many mirrors in my house because, you know, certain things can happen when you got too many mirrors in your house. Trust. So I didn't hang that particular mirror up, and I was actually going to give that mirror away. So I'm just like, one day, okay, This is around the time when TikTok had that filter of like you pointing your camera to the mirror and then you go in super close with it and you should be able to see your aura. So I was doing that and nothing ever happened. Matter of fact, every time I did that specific TikTok, this was a while ago, my phone glitched. So I'm like, what is it about me? Why can't I do this TikTok? So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm just stare in the mirror and try to look at and try to see my own aura in the mirror. And then I'll try on TikTok and see if it add up, right? Oh my God. Okay, so I'm just staring in the mirror. I'm trying to like what is it called? Like disassociate my eyes. I'm trying to make them like go crazy so I can like look at myself, but I'm not really looking at myself so I can see my aura. I don't know how to explain it, y'all. I really don't. So I'm just staring at myself, y'all. I don't know if it was because I was staring at myself for a long ass time, but my face became distorted. It really did. I swear to God, that was not me. It scared me so much to the point where I started yelling and screaming like, this is not me, that's not me, that's not me, that's not me. To the point where my daughter came in looking at me like I was dumb. And she was like, Mommy, that's you. And I'm like, that's not me. That's not me. She probably thought I was crazy. She think I'm crazy anyway. But no, for real, that day she probably thought I was crazy because she was like a lot younger. Y'all, tell me why. I was so scared to the point where I actually, I was about to get rid of that mirror. So I took it out of my daughter's like playroom and I was about to take it out. So I like put it in my living room and I leaned it up against a lamp. No, I leaned it up against my balcony door so it wouldn't fall because the lamp was a little shaky. So it's up against my my back door, right? Tell me why it sat there for like 3 to 4 days. I don't know why. I was like, do I want to just throw the mirror away just because I got freaked out? Like, no, that's the mirror. I bought it. I'm about to move. Eventually I could hang it up or whatever, wherever else I go. So I was like going back and forth on throwing the mirror away. 3 or 4 days later, the mirror fell and broke. I swear to God, nobody was by this mirror. Nothing shook this mirror. Nothing moved in my house to make this mirror fall. It just literally fell by itself. And I'm like, oh, hell no. Because for one, I'm not trying to look into no broken mirror. That's for one. For two, I need to get this glass up. No, for one, I need to get a glass up so my daughter don't step on it. For two, I'm not trying to look in no broken mirror. And for three, I don't want nothing escaping in my house. So I had to get that mirror out of here immediately. I didn't even want to touch the damn mirror, but I had to pick it up, sweep all the glass up. And I threw that mirror out because why did it fall? It was so strange. How did it fall?
I also want to add, the little voice in my head kept telling me to throw that mirror out, get the mirror out of the house. But I'm like, I paid for this mirror. I don't want to just throw the mirror away for no reason just because I got a little scared. But something was pushing me to get it out of the house. Last time I heard the voice, didn't listen. Then it fell and broke.
That scared me even more. Y'all, a week later, my daughter comes to me. I don't know, I think I was in the kitchen or something. Wherever I was not in the room. So she comes to me and she was like, Mommy, I thought you was in the room. And I'm like, no, baby, I'm in the kitchen because I was cooking. And yeah, I was cooking. I remember now. Okay. And she was like, but I just saw you in the room with your bonnet on. And I'm like, what? She was like, well, there's a lady in the room with the bonnet on. I'm like, what fucking lady? My daughter don't play like that. Like, she don't play them type of games, all them pranks and stuff. Like, no, the most she'll do is like stand behind a door trying to scare me, but she don't go to drastic measures. And plus, she was a lot younger. Like, her brain wouldn't think like, oh, let me make up this lie to scare my mommy. The way that she knew how to scare me was to stand behind something, and when she hear me come and jump out and say boo. So I'm believing her. Like, I really believe that she saw me in the room because she looked genuinely confused coming out of the restroom. Like, Mommy, you were just in the room with your bonnet on. Mind you, I didn't even have my bonnet on. I'm scared, but I can't let her know that I'm scared because I'm her savior and protector. So I'll go up in that room like, y'all finna fuck her up because who's in my house? Yeah, somebody done broke in? Yeah, bitch, you about to get your ass whooped. Go up in a room, ain't nobody in there. Go up in a room, ain't nobody in there. Now this might not sound crazy or scary to you, but my heart was thumping because everything that had happened with like the past few days leading up to this day, my daughter telling me she saw somebody in the room, I was like, oh hell no. Somebody or something is amiss and is afoot, and I need to get to getting, because I can't. This is too creepy. This shit that be happening is just too creepy for me. I can't do it. I gotta go. Mind you, I'm still here. I haven't went, but I'm leaving. This is it. I'm gone. Bye. But yeah, I end up checking the whole house. I'm a spaz, okay? I check under the bed. I check my closet. I check the closet that's in the kitchen. Not the kitchen, like the living room area when you first walk in. I check the shower, the washer and dryer area. I check every single thing. Her playroom, nothing. because I genuinely was like, no, somebody's in this bitch, because my daughter don't just be making stuff up. But yeah, that's my little doppelganger experience. My daughter saw a doppelganger in me, and she swears that she saw it, because I'm like, baby, are you sure? Now, don't be playing. Now, if this was a joke, tell me. Was this a prank? Are you trying to prank mommy? She swear to God she wasn't, and I believe her. So, yeah, that's my doppelganger experience. I'm going to keep y'all updated if I ever have another one, but hopefully I don't ever have another one. And I definitely don't want to see that motherfucker. I don't ever let me see that motherfucker, please. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this one. If you like doppelganger content, definitely give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, and make sure you are subscribed. I appreciate y'all. And if you have an experience, or you know of anyone that's had an experience, you want to tell their story for them, send it to spookytyc@gmail.com. Okay, I had to end it on a lighter note just in case I scared y'all, which hopefully I didn't. Anyway, y'all already know the vibes. I love y'all, and thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna see y'all on my next one. Bye.
Boo, what you still doing here?
Y'all, these are creepy. I'm starting to get scared. It's a little dark here. I'm scared. I'm not even gonna lie.